Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Tellor Dev Call. Today is September 23, 2024, and we are continuing to make some updates and testing our next Tellor Layer Testnet 2. We had a few disputes last week. The Coinbase API apparently, instead of being deprecated, it was frozen, and so that caused some issues for some people, for one person actually, just one person. Anyway, so that happened. We voted on that. Those things are settled. Nothing was malicious, and they were caught on time. Aside from that, we're continuing to test and work on testnet. So who wants to start? Maybe Ryan, give us an update on the front end.
I worked on the voting page. The voting page is now updated with the new contracts, and it's got the new update query button. And then for the block explorer, now that the new testnet is up and running, there's a couple updates I need to make in terms of the current monitors that are there. And then I also need to test the edit the RPC button.
Right. Thanks, Ryan. So the testnet is running currently. It's open to everybody, but we're testing it internally. We will let you guys know when you can actually join it. And we're actually making some updates, so it's currently down. We'll let you know when everything's ready for you. Tim?
Yeah, so I'm doing some kind of manual testing of the bridge stuff now after our latest layer changes. And running the automated tests of the contracts. And then once that's all good, redeploying the contracts to Sepolia. And then after that, getting the tipping and relaying, picking back on the tipping and relaying process.
Thanks, Tim. Oh, also, I forgot to mention that last week we went live on Base mainnet. We had been on testnet for a bit, but now we're on Base mainnet. So, Spuddy.
Yeah, you just reminded me that I'm adding Base today to Telliot. I got to add Base to Telliot. At the end of last week, I was trying to go fast and get those releases out so that we could remove Coinbase from Telliot and the DVM. I have not done a release of the DVM yet. I don't remember why. There was a good reason. And now I think while I'm working on the Base integration, I might try to make sure that all of the feeds get back to 3 sources, because a lot of them are down to 2, because to get it out quick, I just removed Coinbase, so now we need to get the 3rd source back in there for a lot of feeds. It wasn't just TRB that was affected, it was every feed that was using the Coinbase API. As time goes by, the Coinbase prices are just going to get wronger.
Right.
Yeah.
Just as a reminder, we provide this on our version of Telliot, but people can use anything they want. That you can change the sources. You can also input it manually. You can do whatever you want with that. That's just, we provide a base, I guess, so that you guys can have something to work off of as an example. Dan?
I've got some overflow and underflows to test, and working on some AWS SSH issues to try and get Telliot set up for the relayer.
Thanks, Dan. And Caleb?
I'm just going to be working on testing our new deployment method that we're going to be doing whenever we launch the chain again. Also going to be looking into the reporter daemon, trying to debug some of those issues there, and just overall debugging is basically the vibes of this week.
Definitely. Nick?
I have to redeploy Lisk today, so I deployed our token over there, and I deployed it with the name and the symbol switched.
But this is a bridge, right? This is just a token.
The bridge, yeah. So nothing's over there yet, but I have to switch those, and then and then we should be up on Lisk later this week, which will be fun. And then we also have to deploy. We're going to deploy to BitLayer at some point this week as well. Got some user contracts, finishing up testing. And a
Yes.
bunch of
For just so people know, BitLayer is actually Bitcoin layer 2 or 1, I'm not sure, but it's an EVM compatible chain, just like Bob. So that's why we're gonna go and deploy over there. And also somebody asked about it. Mike.
Yeah, we'll have some announcements to work on with Base, and then also later, not as big of a rush on the Lisk and BitLayer stuff, but while I'm at it, I can get all those done. Yeah, and then back into some of the website stuff, and I need to review your review of the 101, so I'm going to take a look at that this morning.
All right, awesome. Well, thank you everybody for joining, and we'll see you guys next week.